Okay, let's turn this one on. It's on there. It must be off. Must be off on here. Is it off on there? There we go. Having the problem where that wasn't coming on apparently. Oh well, so it would just click and nothing would happen. So we'll take the cover off and check the electrics. That fan should kick in a bit, it's off the pressure switch. Unless the fan's up. It's getting quite warm. I wonder if it's going off on the high pressure switch. That is stupid hot. I think it's that switch up there. It's supposed to turn the fan on. Let's have a look. My usual good camera work. So I don't think we're getting a signal for that to run. You see that these are. I would have thought that would have kicked in by now. Maybe that switch is stuff. It might be going off on a high pressure switch. Maybe the fan cycling switch has died. I don't think we've got a high side connection on these, so we can't check. That is getting very hot. I don't know, I'm saying that, it's not that hot. Maybe we've got a gas leak then. Not enough gas to get the fan running maybe, because that is, it just start off this warm. If anything it's cooling down. Might just get the gauges on there, see what the pressure is. Compressor's red hot, which it would be if it's not got enough gas in it. I think we might have a gas leak issue. This looks very shiny down here, and that looks wet. So maybe the seal's gone in there. And you think that's got the hot gas coming out of the compressor going there. Maybe it's cooked that valve. There we go. The fan's just kicked in. Just took that long for that to kick in. I wonder if that compressor's got so hot it got off on this Clixon. They rely on the cool gas coming back to cool the compressor down. Yeah, I think that's what the issue might be. You see here the clunk, which would be the contact to put it in, and I was thinking it'd be a burnt wire, but if this was off on its thermal overload, it wouldn't run, and then the fan's not going to cut in, the head pressure doesn't get up, which it won't do if the thing's short of gas, so I think that might be the issue there. That's what the symptoms are looking like. Right, got the old H10, whatever it's called, going. Probably want to turn it off. These are, I think they're Danfoss. Although they've got a different coloured coils, so say climatic or something. Okay. And I have had these where they leak and then they seal up again, because they can be temperature related. But it's covered in oil, and you can see when you look at it. It's obviously been leaking. So I have got some seal kits for these, so we might be lucky in that we can just strip it down and put new seals in and not have to braze it in. I don't know if I've got a dryer the right size, because I don't know if that's 1/4 or 5/8. They do have some odd size pipe on some of these. Yeah, that back corner, it doesn't like it, so maybe. Yeah, definitely something on that one. Yeah, there we go. The other thing that goes is that tray, the hot gas tray, but the side's melted out of that. You can actually see into it, so I don't think that's gone because they usually corrode. And then we've had these valves up here leak on the cap. It's just like a threaded cap with an O-ring. And then we've got the little Schrader port up here. I have had a few of them where the condensers have gone. They do go, and it's sometimes just in the middle of the block somewhere. So anyway, yeah, that's looking like it's definitely there. Okay, I've got the gauges on there. I'm not sure if that is pushing the Schrader core down, or it's just, if it is, it's running at 0. So we'll turn it off. Yeah, it is. The pressure's coming up now. So that was running about 1/2 PSI on there, on the suction. Yeah, no gas in it, basically. Okay, we pulled that down into a slight vacuum, and it's set for a bit. It might come up because you're only pulling out from one side. Just give it a quick buzz to get that valve opened, just in case there was anything in that pipe. Well, we took about 1/2 kilo out, 550 grams, and it holds, was it 1.3, I think? 1.3 or 1.7? I think it's 1.3. Where are we? 1.3 kilos. 404. So 800 grams short, thereabouts. So that would account for that. Yeah, it's come up in a bit now, so we'll let it sit for a bit and then put it down again. I think I've got one of these on the van. I think I've also got a seal kit, so I doubt very much the block, the brass is bent or anything. So it's probably just going to be the seals leaking. So I might take it apart and see if we can clean it. It'd be easier than getting the torch out and brazing a new one in. Okay, I've just given this a little blast with some brake cleaner to get rid of the grease and the oil, and then we wiped it down with a paper towel. And then when I took the towel away, it was obvious that screw's come loose. I think as I've wiped the towel across it, it's unscrewed it, so that was just finger tight. And then this one on this side, it's finger tight. I haven't put a driver on that at all. That's just purely come loose from rubbing around with a towel. So that's probably half the reason it's leaked. I've never seen that before, so whether they've just vibrated loose or heating up and cooling down has done it, I don't know. Anyway, let's go and see if we've got a seal kit for that. Which will save us putting a whole new valve in there. Okay, finally found my downfrost seal kits. I think I've got seal kits, which is just gives you the O-rings, and then I think I've got rebuild kits, which gives you the diaphragms and so on. So that you'd use those if they were let in by. But I think the kit you get covers you for like 3 or 4 different sizes, so you end up using some of the O-rings and not all of them. So you might be able to do a couple of valves out of one kit if you've got a small one or a big one. But hopefully one of these packets in there will have something that will fit inside here. So we'll get this apart and have a look in there and see what it looks like. If it doesn't look too good, we'll probably put a new one in, but I'm thinking at the moment we should just be able to get away with putting seals in there. If you're doing something like this, it always pays to break them free with a couple of bolts still holding it in, so it's not going to flow flying off. So if that had a load of pressure behind it, it'd go off like a rocket. Okay, that's got the valve apart, and that's got that sort of usual burnt paraffin-y stink that these Zanotti systems tend to get from where they run so hot. That whole bottom piece, I don't know if the camera's picking up, that should be brass coloured and it's sort of black, which I think has come from the rubber. And it's sort of soft on the side, but the top half it's kind of quite hard, so it's gone set solid. So let's see if we can get a pick in there and get it taken out and cleaned up. And then the diaphragm, I've noticed, has got a sort of blister in it, so hopefully we've got a rebuild kit for one of these. I don't know whether it's an EVR3 or EVR6, maybe EVR6 I'm thinking, because it's a 3/8, which is a 10mm pipe, but the 6 would be the size of the port, and generally the ports are smaller than the pipe, so it might be an EVR6. Okay, that's got some sort of odd marks in there, sort of powdery looking, but I'll give it a wipe round with a brake clean, see if that cleans up. And then that O-ring, when it come out, it's actually cracked, so it's got no, oh yeah, you can see it's cracked again, sorry. I'm going to have the viewer little screen on at an angle so it doesn't light up, so then I end up not pointing things in the right place. I need to get myself a new camera really. Anyway, so yeah, O-ring's gone. See if we can clean this up. Yeah, take it from there. Okay, got that brazed in, hopefully it's leak tight, looks alright. I might get a rebuild kit for these, although I'm not sure, because that's a different design, whether that looks smaller, doesn't it? Yeah, it's smaller than that. I think that's an EVR6. I think it's the biggest one they do, so anyway, the clip that went around that pipe had a rubber piece in there, but it's perished with the heat, so I always save these rubber bungs you get like for compressors and fittings and just keep them in the van. So what we'll be able to do is cut this one up and make a little rubber sleeve up to go inside that P-clip there, just to stop it rubbing on the pipe. But yeah, it's worth saving these sort of little rubber bits and pieces. Okay, I've got that all back together. Cardboard's fell down. We've got our 1.3 kilos in there. And that fan is just cycling on and off, so I had to make a piece of cardboard over there so it would still clear through the condenser. But, it's quite cool in here today, so they probably don't need 100% condenser duty. Because the room is 7 degrees when we turned it on, so it only gone up half a degree, might have been off. I think it was 6, well actually I think it was 6, 7 when we turned it on. But anyway, it's coming down, so I suppose what the product's going to be at 6.5, 7 degrees, so it's going to probably run for an hour or two to bring it all down, depends how much stuff he's got in there. And it's only running, even so it's only running at about 1 bar, 15 psi. But I think these are freezer units. It's a freezer compressor and they have an EPR valve. No, it's not an EPR valve, it's a crankcase pressure regulator. So the compressor never sees more than the duty it would do on a freezer, even though it's running as a chiller, which is probably one of the reasons they're not that long-lived a unit really. like saying that, I think this is not done too badly because it's from 2006, so what does that make it? 16 years old, something like that. So it's done well, and I think that might be the original compressor. Anyway, it's come up a bit where it's been set, but it was about 1.31, 1.32 kilos when I shut the tap. We'll just watch it run for a bit, make sure, and then we check the capacitor on there. Start the run cap, it's 25 and it was reading absolutely 0, so it was starting on the start relay and the start capacitor, and then once it was running it had 0 assistance on the start winding, which would again probably make the motor overheat. That and the being short gas together was probably what stopped it running, even though it started up fine when we were here. Right, enough whittering. Okay, I'm not sure how well this is going to work because obviously we've been backing out in this area, so there's going to be vapours. We're going to check braze joint. If we had a leak on there, I think it would pretty much show up straight away. And our new coil. Did tighten this one up because this one was they weren't finger tight, but they were a little bit loose just with a screwdriver. That port there, that's the last. Look at that. Should we check that? Is that coming out of there? Doesn't like it, does it? Right, let's get a different cap on there, I think. We would struggle to get the Schrader core out because they don't give you enough height, unless we took the fan off maybe, and then the wire won't be long enough, will it? It might be. Let's see. I might see if I've got a new cap with a fresh O-ring.